Yes, so I'm Jannike Krona Broman. I'm head of TV operations at TV4 and MTV Finland.
Hi, and I'm Jonas Birmé, as mentioned before, co-founder of Ivan Technology back in 2013.
Yes, and we are going to talk about reinventing the media supply chain. But first, just a little bit of what TV4 is and some highlights from our spring content.
Åh, herregud.
Det ska bli så kul.
Så var bara få vara med mig. Det här är bra TV.
Ja, okej.
Mamma har hotat att ta allt ifrån mig. Må bästa man vinna.
The entail must be smashed.
Finns det ambitioner?
Ge kärleken en andra chans.
Vilket liv där vi som vanligt kommer hylla några av Sveriges största stjärnor.
Välkommen till TV4 Play, hela Sveriges streamingtjänst.
So, as we just heard, there is a fundamental structural change within the broadcast and TV business. Old truth are challenged and digital natives are constantly entering. And one of their most benefits are that they from start are able to build their platforms and process truly digital. They are not locked in with long and complicated vendor structure and legacy systems. They are already from start smart, agile, and 100% digital, which also means that they are able to operate at a much lower cost base. At TV4, we are coming from a traditional broadcast world, meaning full operations and infrastructure was originally built on-prem with a clear broadcast-centric environment, because that was what the industry looked like 30 years ago when TV4 launched. Once digital made its way into our industry, it has been added on the current broadcast way of working, just as add-on to old infrastructure and old systems. And all this infrastructure can and must now be replaced by a cloud ecosystem and controlled as well as powered by AI. So we need to move fast. And transformation for TV4 means move away from traditional old broadcast legacy to a digital first with speed, agility, and transparency. We want to take control and we want to build our future. And we want to be able to adapt and change directions at the same pace that technology evolves. And all of you know at what pace technology is currently evolving. So there is quite a challenge with that. But we started a little more than a year ago, together with Ivan, to look into the media supply chain and how we can transform that. And the ambition was to challenge old truth, to challenge old ways of working. And the ambition was and is to pivot into a digital-first solution and to be able to operate in a much more agile way. So just to give you a little bit more context, what is the media supply chain when we refer and talk about this? Well, this is the centralized process that happens in the middle, just after the content is acquired, planned, and produced. It is the process that ensures that the content is received effectively, that is processed, and that is prepared for further distribution. And today, for us, this process includes a lot of expensive legacy systems and a lot of manual work. So when we started to look into this, we could see quite clear that we had some challenges to solve for. And first, we are not in control of the media supply chain. As I said, it was built originally for the broadcast-first approach. And because of that, it comes out as both expensive and not flexible way of working. Processes are hard-coded and requires a lot of manual work. If possible, any adaptations, if possible, would need a change request, and it also comes with an expense and a time frame. So, the current setup does not allow us to fully take advantage of the technology and the evolution that we now see with AI, because we are not in control of the tools, and therefore we're not able to work agile and to use the solution that for the moment is the best one. So we know why we need to change, but what does the new platform look like? And how can we build a supply chain that can handle that? We are therefore building a new digital-first, AI-powered and cloud-based content delivery. We want to transform the current way of working and building a truly digital-first platform where the broadcast or linear is just add-on, i.e., we need to turn it all 360 degrees around. We want to build a platform that is cost-efficient and flexible. A platform where we are not locked in to a black box with change requests, roadmaps that someone else are owning, time frames that we have no control of. So we need to build this by ourselves. With transparency, with full ownership of the architecture. And to be able to do this, we need to control and develop our own tools and our own ways of working. And we should build it so that we are able to take advantage of the exponential technical development and the cost benefits that that would mean. We want to build it with modular blocks so that they can easily be replaced, scaled, or improved in line with the technical evolution. So we are building the future media supply chain. And by doing that, we are not only rebuilding the tech and infrastructure, we are building a new culture. A culture that is cloud-based, that will give us the flexibility, the global supply, and the cost efficiency that we need. AI and automation will help us replace the manual workflows, such as quality control, transcoding, translation, subtitling, metadata, etc. And with a digital design from start, not as an add-on. And with data at the core, we also get the possibility with real-time insights and faster decisions.
And we also need to think of how to design this technically. And from start, my idea was to automate it as much as possible and make it self-serving. And that part in the middle, it should be by the one using it and by the one depending on the output should be self-serving. I mean, you can think of it like maybe we don't have the volumes as YouTube in terms of the amount of content to process, but why not design a system that could scale in that way? If you are required to build something to handle a massive volume, you have no option. You have to automate. You cannot have people there driving the process forward because you don't have the manpower for it. So let's design a platform that could actually take on that. Even though I know we will not have those volumes, let's build that in that way. So that's one thing, sort of challenging. Do we need any manual process in this part of this supply chain, or can it be fully automated? And can we make sure that the planning, the acquisition can they do more? Can they just, as I would do if I would publish anything on YouTube, I edit it, I make it look good, I upload it, it's processed, it's even subtitled, and it's ready for air, as we call it. And then it's up to me to actually press publish. But I'm not dependent on anyone else to tell me you can publish it. I see it myself. So with that mindset going into, okay, we want everything to be automated, and even the process that we call RFA, which means validating that this content is ready for air. Not the same thing as being published, but ready for air, meaning does it have the right content, no color bars, no, it's the subtitling there, etc., etc. So that's the mindset when we go into this design. And also, of course, we talked about APIs before. It's really important that we build our own control layer. But when we build that control layer, we also need to provide APIs for it so we can automate it, integrate it with other parts of the organization and other systems. And I will show a little bit more later on how we also can control the layer using natural language with the help of a model context protocol. So that's a sort of overall general mindset to the design. As mentioned as well, we went from like a broadcast first into digital first. What does that actually mean? Well, for us, it actually meant what file format should we process in the system. It was originally designed to be the file format that was used on our video service for broadcast, which limited us in what we could output on the Play services. So we removed that by changing the actual input file format. And this is, I would say, for many of you here, not rocket science, but this is a transformation that we need to do. So we're changing what type of file formats we take in, and then we transcode it into our own house format, the mezzanine format that is not based on the broadcast layout. It's based on the online format. And we are also challenging, and this is a challenge, but we're challenging the file formats to use on the video service for broadcast. Can we use a more modern codec, lower bit rates? Everything becomes much more easier to use throughout the process. And also, if you want to utilize any of the AI services out there that do any video processing, I can assure you they are not handling the video formats that we are using for our video service today. So that's also rationale to actually change what type of formats we process in the chain. And taking control, building the control layer ourselves, realizing we need to own the roadmap for this, since everything changes so quickly nowadays. We don't know in 1 month what you can do today. The model context protocol, for those of you who don't know what that is, it's basically a new moving standard on how to basically connect your AI agent with other systems. And since we have the chance to build this now from scratch, let's start doing that already from the start. So let's go a little bit more into detail of what our media supply chain now looks like, and also mention we are not done. This is more of where we are currently working on, but I'm quite confident that we will get all the bits and pieces together, and we've come quite far, and also part of it is already in production. So it's not only PowerPoints, it's actually working. So the first thing in the outer process chain we do, as I said, we take this ProRes format, as we decided to use, and transcode it into lighter mezzanine formats that's easier to handle throughout the process. We automatically detect whether there are bars, slates, or something that shouldn't be there. We have a quite clear specification already what we expect from the providers. And by detecting this, we can either automatically trim it ourselves if it's an easy thing, or we could just reject it. Hey, it's not following the specs. Go back, redo. And this is, can we do that? Yes, we can. And can we detect the audio layout and normalization? It's actually not that advanced. We have a quite clear specification in what we expect there as well. We can just check that. Does it follow the spec? No. And in some cases, we can adjust that ourselves. Again, this is not this is not rocket science itself, but we're coming from a part where we've done this manually because, yeah, we can do it manually. It's easier. But again, if we would scale something for being handled to handle YouTube volumes, this cannot be manual. It says itself. We automatically generate subtitles in Swedish and Finnish. We do first a transcription, speech to text basically, and then we translate it using LLMs. Basically prompting, hey, this is the text, can you translate it to Finnish? And by the way, also make sure it's following subtitle standards when it comes to terms, size of blocks, and etc., etc. So we prompting in AI do that. I would say scripted content and the movies, it's very easy. It's, I would say, 98-99% correct. The challenge here is, you can imagine, reality shows where people are not following a script and they're talking the same time, and they use a lot of words that you need a special dictionary to actually understand what it means. Everyone watching it knows what it means. Normal people doesn't know that, but you need to feed that into the AI to provide that context. But that was a learning experience. That the type of content we chose first to try this out with was, I would say, the hardest one. And we're not 100% there yet, but I think we are closing in. But for scripted content, that's easy. It's already there. We can detect positions for ad breaks, where we should place those, so we can do that automatically. And also points of interest we are working on getting there to automatically get pinch markers, skip next and those things. Do that automatically. The interesting thing here is that now we're using a lot of automation, a lot of AI to automatically process this. Then you would think, yeah, then you need to review it. We need to check that the subtitling is correct. We need to check that the readability for the subtitles is as standard. And that's, of course, something that you can do manually. One can actually look at every asset and see that's correct. But again, let's say we would be YouTube. Would that be scalable? No. So let's think, how can we do this automatically? So we are actually using AI here as well to generate like a QC report. Okay, having AI analyze this is the subtitles. Do they follow the standards that we expect with these criteria? It can actually say yes or no to some percentage. So that provides a QC report for us to automatically review it and automatically go to RFA, as we call it, ready for air. Of course, there are situations where the AI say, oh no, I can't give a good confidence in this score, you need to look at this manually. And then someone needs to look at that. But that reduced the amount of manual work a lot by just having to look at, having AI do the first review. I mean, the developers here in this room knows that you can do code reviewing with AI. For sure, you can do reviewing subtitles and these things with AI. A little bit about the architecture, as mentioned. We built this orchestration layer ourselves. It's an event-driven architecture. We are using AWS step functions for driving a lot of these things. We have a lot of other tools for observability. And the key part here when we designed and built the system was that the modules here should be strictly independent and interchangeable. So if we're using one type of transcoder now, we could exchange it to another, or we could use both. And actually, we're using both an open source transcoders in combination with AWS Media Convert for where we need Dolby Vision and things like that there are open source transcoder cannot handle. And everything here is I would say interchangeable. We have web-based UIs. Everything is designed as well for not being on-prem and not having to install a specific operating system. You should be able to have control of the system from wherever you are, basically. As I said, we do a lot with AI. We have our own RIG, which is the retrieval augmented generation, which means that we can provide very specific context for our platform, but also for our content without risking that leaking to to anyone else. So we have full control of that part. And the next thing I'm going to show you is, of course, we have a user interface where you can control and do things, but self-serving, as I mentioned in the beginning, is one of the key drivers here as well. And if you would provide a self-serving user interface today with the technology, naturally would go to natural language, right? So here's an example where we're using, based on the Model Context Protocol, together with Claude from Anthropic, where the planning person or an acquisition department, they could, instead of calling someone, hey, can you check if we have received files for Bortom Paradiset, ask that question to Claude. Right, posted the question there. Need to do a little bit of thinking. We provide this API, which basically is, okay, you can do a search, you can do this very automatic, atomic tools, and then the LLM and the large language model makes use of that and turns it into a natural chat, I would say. So now following it up, which of these files have we got? Which of these have we also got the media files? So what it does now, it actually, depending on the answer in the previous response, it will actually go into and look in each and every one of them. Have we received the video files? Very similar to what I would have done myself, or if I would working in the media supply chain department, someone would call me and ask me, I would do exactly these tasks. But now I get this combined and consolidated into this, and I could do it myself. Now he asked me if I want to look at the other ones now, but I'm quite satisfied with that now. So the next question, hi, can you ask, Iris is what we call the media supply chain. We of course have to give it a name, makes it more personal. Hi, can you ask, and that's Siri backwards if you wonder. Hi, can you ask Iris what content is produced in the United States? That could be a relevant question today. Right, I'll help you find information about content produced in the United States. Let me search for that information. And then based on searching for content produced in the United States, I can see there are several TV shows and movies in production or recently published, blah, blah, blah. And you get the list there. Most of these appear to be reality shows. The last thing, which is a quite common question, and this ID is a material ID. You all have your own IDs, I think, probably. But this is how ours looks. Hi, can you ask Iris to get in the status of the delivery request for M0624364? I was probably expecting it, and I'm wondering where it's been actually processed. So I'll post that question. Let me search for that information for you. Thank you much. Based on my search, I can provide you with the current status of delivery request, blah, blah. See, it's been transcoded. The ABR transcoding is in progress. Ads been detected. The VOD package been completed. Not know why that could be completed for the ABR transcoding, but that was the case here at least. So this is just examples. This is what we can do already today. But we're probably not done there yet. And as mentioned, the way we come here is, I mean, it's about changing the way we work, the way we think. We need to challenge, we need to prove that it works, proof of concept. We need to run on that, and then we can transform. That's what the butterfly symbolizes. And yeah, we just started, right?
It's just started. It's a journey, and it's not only about the technical stuff, it's a lot about the culture and the change management.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.